Okay, this should be a recording of me showing you how to use the template that I made for announcements at ITLM. And so it's pretty simple. So hopefully you can see me and the screen at the same time. If not, you can see my mouse here. So this is Premiere Pro. This is a Adobe program, comes with the Creative Cloud Suite. If you have access to it, you will need it in order to edit the template. So it's pretty simple. So what we're going to do first, we're going to open the template. And so here it is right here. It's already in my history, but if I send you the file for it, you'll be able to open it in Premiere. And now it apparently kicked us off of sharing that screen because I changed screens. So I'm going to share it again. Okay, so hopefully you can see that now. And so this is what it looks like. So you can see it here and you can actually probably hear it when I do that. Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't, but you should be able to see there. I'm going to mute it so I can think, but this is the, you won't let me mute it. Let's go. It's this one. That's why. This is the template here. So you can see this is kind of what it looks like. It goes through it. So basically, I built it in such a way where you should be able to edit the different elements fairly easily just by clicking into them. So each item is actually nested inside of this element here. So you can see there's different layers of videos here that work together to make this. So this first portion is the intro part. So you should be able to just leave that. But if you wanted to edit this part, you would double click on it, and it'll open up the different sections. And so you can see this is just that part of the video. And so it has the different pieces. As I scroll through it, you should be able to see them all. And so say I wanted to change out the partner video, the partner element right here. So you should be able to see that there's a graphic for each one. And so if I and a slide. So if I click on slide down here, this is the graphic that it's showing for that portion. So say I want to switch this out. Well, I made it really easy so that you don't have to change both of them because there's actually two elements here that are going with it. But all you have to do is click into slide one. Okay, so you should see that there. And it's taking up the whole space here. You can see that it's currently highlighted when you do that. So you have it highlighted. Say I want to switch that out. I'm going to go up to File, and I'm going to go to Import. Okay. So let's say we want to import a different graphic for that. Say you're doing a series. We're about to do a series at our church called Stronger Together. So I'll use it just for a template here. Say I want to use that. So I hit Import, and I drop it in here. It's a 1x1 image, so it'll fill the space perfectly. And you'll see it drops it into the library here, the project library on the left. And so you'll see it's right there and it automatically highlights it right away. If you click away from it, then it's going to be selecting something else. So I'm going to make sure that we're selecting the right one. Okay, if you select something else, this won't work. So you want to make sure you have this selected. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click on the element here. I'm going to bring up all these options and then hit replace with clip. Then from bin. And if I do that, it'll actually replace the whole thing. Now this image is slightly smaller, so I want to make sure it fills the whole space or it won't look correct. So I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to make it fill the space. Okay, so now that that's full, if I go back to highlights, you'll see it actually went ahead and changed it. It even changes the background color to match. So everything is really, really easy. It's actually pulling all the colors and everything from this image to make the background match no matter what. And that works with the transition and everything over to the next one. You'll see it does that. This does it really well. So that's how you change the image. Really, really simple. If I want to change the text, just like you would imagine, you double click on it and you can just change the text on any of these. And so that's how you do that. Really very simple. That's using the text tool here. If you have the arrow tool selected and you double click on it, it will change over to the text tool. You'll see it changed it right there. And so that has that selected. Say you want to change the actual formatting for this here. I would want to go over to workspace. Oh yeah, there's different workspaces. So the essentials one is probably where you ought to be. I was apparently working the audio one. So if I go over to the essentials workspace, changes the look of things a little bit, but that's okay. Everything's still here. But if I'm working on the text here and I want this to change, I'm going to go to essential graphics right here. You'll see it's currently highlighted on that one. If I want to change which one I'm highlighting, I can click here actually. And then I can do all of the editing to my text here like I would with anything else. So say you guys ever wanted to change the font or make it a little bigger, a little smaller, you would just go through there and edit all of your text right there, just like you would. And that's all there is to it. Really, after that, all you have to do is render it out. So I would go to File, Export, and then Media. So a quick note with that is that you want to make sure that you are looking at the correct layer. So the one that is the top layer has all the pieces together is composite. Okay, so if I double click on composite, it'll open it up here, you'll see. Okay, so if I'm looking at the composite layer, you'll see again that down here we have all of our different pieces all put together in the video here. I would unmute the track that I muted at the beginning of this. So that you could have the audio in there if you wanted it, but it has everything there. You can see it all works perfectly. That layer came through, that change that we made came through, so that looks good. And so now that I have this component, this top layer selected, now I will go export media. That's really important because if you don't do that, it'll actually export a different layer and it won't have all the pieces and it won't look right. And you'll be like, what's going on? So you have the right one selected. And then you would change your title, everything there. Something I do to help reduce file size, which is important sometimes, is going down under my video settings. So it's usually in a drop down like this. If I click video and go down to bitrate settings, it's normally on VBR 1 pass. But if you change it to VBR 2 pass and pull these down pretty low, I usually do like 4 and 6, something like that. That's changing the rate that it's creating the export with. And so that actually does a lot to reduce your file size significantly. So I usually do that. And then I would hit export, or you could hit send to media encoder and do it that way. But either way works. And that's that. That's how you would do that. So I'm not going to do it now. But that's my little tutorial on how to edit the template. Thanks.